All right. Those of you, I should have done that. Yes, sir.
Sean, I was at that meeting last night.
Yeah.
Last week.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Dana.
Yeah.
But you said what we got for certification.
We're going to hand that out today. I hope.
Okay. I got a job. I got to go to.
Okay. So you're good. We could get to you later. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll contact you.
All right. Sounds great. All right. Let's go log in. Accept all cookies. Come on. Where? Dang it. Go to Island. I created a Kahoot Island, and the idea here is to not new game. Where is my... Where do you see it? Yes. Beautiful. Host live. That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Kevin. All right, so if you guys could go, if you want to participate, what we're going to do here is there's 10 clips of you make the call before we actually go over, because what the idea is, we want to get the baseline of what people think is the answer. And then we're going to go into the education, show those 50 consistency, teach the rule, and I'm hoping to get at least 75% consistency after teaching the rule. All right, but at the end of the day, so if you go to Kahoot.com and I am play, Kahoot.com play, and type in the pin 18443. Nickname SJ, boom. SJ's up there. All right, so it's Kahoot.com. You click play. Kahoot. I went to Kahoot. I just Googled Kahoot. All right, so as we're doing this, I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint here briefly. All right, and Zach's going to put that in there. All right, so if those of you who, I don't think there's too many people that were out in Kearney, but here's the question. What makes a great basketball crew? So you got 2 officials, you got 3 officials. What makes a great basketball crew? Who has one answer? All right, communication. Which, bam, there is. I wonder if that's important up there. Communication. What's another thing? All right, I heard 2 of them. Consistency. Then who else said something besides consistency? Professionalism. Love it. Trust. A couple plays today, we're going to show that. All right. Too soon? Georgia, Texas? All right. Do the right thing. Anyone think of anything else? Great crew. Rules. All right. Loud whistle. All right. Notice on there, we really didn't say judgment, did we? All right. All right. I will tell you, all the classes I ever teach, judgment is the least thing that separates sports officials. There is nobody that's ever going to observe you, grade you, rank you, that sees what you see. It's everything else on here. All right, the last thing that I said, I've been saying the past year, the other thing that makes a great crew, friendship. All right, so people who came to the tryout last week, best way to make any team in sports officiating, all right, any assigner, any sport, have people want to work with you. All right, if I hear 10 people say, I want to work with Zach Hunnell on varsity basketball, I'm probably going to put you on varsity basketball with Zach Hunnell. Okay, so it's very important. That's what makes a great basketball crew. Don't focus on judgment. Okay, that's not what makes a great crew in a game. What is that? It can be. Yep. So goals. Today's goals. Show the importance of rule terminology. And again, we're going to have our judgment. You have to connect it to a rule. If you connect it to a rule, you're going to stay out of harm's way. How to use terminology to prevent unsporting behavior. All right, whenever we get unsporting behavior, it just doesn't go from 0 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour. There's a buildup. If we use terminology, it will prevent confusion. If we prevent confusion, it will prevent frustration. If we prevent frustration, we're going to prevent unsporting behavior. And then number 3, developing consistency throughout the team, PSOA and communication of terminology. I can't stress enough how many brand new first year officials are in the room. First year doing it. All right, give a clap, give a clap. How many 20 years or over? All right, give a clap, coming back 20 years. New officials, it's going to be easier for me to teach you this terminology than somebody doing it for 20 years. Okay, so take advantage of it. All right, and then hopefully the one's been doing it for 20 years, this is more of a review than teaching. All right, so here's our agenda. Believe it or not, we're going to try to get through all this information. Today is fouls. I think literally the only one I left out are intentional fouls. But incidental contact, no advantage. Foul, impede normal movement. Notice this is actual rule book terminology I have up in here. Okay, this is a terminology we should learn how to use after today's practice. Block, impede with body. Charge, torso. Push, displace. Hold, freedom of movement. Swinging the elbows, and what I mean by parallel, they're up. That's what you're really looking for. Illegal use of hands, effect, shot, pass, dribble. Hand check is automatic. So if you go to Rule 4 in your rule book, by far the most important rule in the rule book is Rule 4. Then you go to Rule 10, contact. All right, contact or hand check is not connected to foul. It is a foul, but it's not connected to the affecting normal movement. It's an automatic, and hopefully when you see the video that we have, you see why it's an automatic. All right, so hand check is automatic. At the end, then we'll get into technical fouls, administrative, pregame, team, delay, faking being fouled. This is not a new rule, by the way. It's always been in the rule book. It's how we penalize it. That's new. New umpire? Oh. Substitute. All right. Sub. Player, non-contact or dead ball contact. Bench, not a player. Head coach or sub. And then head coach, loss of box. Okay. With no further ado, again, I'm going to go back to make sure the Kahoot is rocking and rolling. We're going to start this Kahoot. Okay, getting ready. Awesome. And so now the first question is going to go with this clip. Oh, 18443. Thank you. 18. You just make it up. Whatever you want. TA, I'm sure you're going to put TA. All right, it's still. All right, mine's still saying getting ready. Is everyone still saying getting ready? I didn't hit the question?
Yeah, you have to show the clip, and then it will give us our choices of red right here again.
Okay.
So we have our choices up. Now you have to
All right, so now the question is this a foul? What's the answer? Do they not give you the answers here? Oh, dang.
The answers are going to appear on your guys'
line of UConn has had it.
on your phones. Your phones will
Okay.
correlate. Oh, no, it's time.
Okay. Well, darn it. Wow. Okay.
We're all on the board.
All right. Is this a foul? Is this a block? Is this a charge? Is this a flop?
The front line of UConn
Block,
had its way as well.
charge, foul, flop. Okay. Everyone seen the play?
No. Plays up here.
Oh. All right. I'm going to figure this out after play one. All right. Boom.
And the front line of UConn has had
So I
its
will
way as
open
well.
up the question again. Block, charge, flop, incidental contact is going to be your options. One more time. Block, charge, flop, incidental contact are going to be your options.
And the front line.
Okay, so now, great question that you get to answer that. We do officiate both teams. All right, so could I go back and redo this?
Now we just reload the game pin.
No.
Yeah, we'll do the game pin.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
Because we've seen the play. No, it's going to be a new game.
So now I have to go back.
Go to your game mode or your classic mode. Yep.
This one? Kevin, you're in charge of this next meeting.
Yeah, well, if you're going to do this, yeah. Where is your game? Where is your...
Start. There it is.
No, because you didn't put the...
No, this is where you have to load a new pin. All right, so those of you who were in there, I apologize. New pin. Oh, that was easy, though. Stayed on the page. All right. Sweet. All right, so when we do go to the question number one, as we go through this, I will show the clip and then come back to the Kahoot because I thought the 30 seconds I get to choose when to do that, but that's not the case. All right, so 699297. We're going to start. We're going to go question number one. 3, 2, 1. Quiz. What is the call on this play? Next time, I'm just going to put the clip on there. So was it a block? Was it a charge? Was it a travel? Was it incidental contact? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we didn't have a lot of people. Oh, we did 24 incidental contact, 3 block, 1 charge. That is phenomenal, class. Absolutely phenomenal. Because the answer is incidental contact. Okay? This, by far, is my favorite rule in the rule book. And I'm gonna pull a little football into this. I try to find ways not to have a foul. Incidental contact rule is permitted and does not constitute a foul. Result when opponents are in equally favorable position after contact to perform normal offensive and defensive movements. So on that play, the offensive player was dribbling. What did that offensive player want to do right at the time or right after that contact? Pass the ball. Was that player able to pass the ball? Absolutely. Okay. And then both players went to the floor, correct? Are they in equally favorable position both on the floor? Incidental contact. All right, so if you ever have a coach say, Sean, why was that not a foul? Incidental contact. Equally favorable. All right. It's very important. The other things that do come up, screens outside the vision of the opponent without the ball. So this is a defender without the ball, outside their vision. As long as I give them time and distance, and the rule book says 2 strides. 2 strides is enough time for a defender to avoid a screen, as so long as their teammate says, hey, screen. But how many times have you seen them run 5 feet? Boom! Collision. Incidental contact. What was the screener trying to do? Screen. What was the defender trying to do? Run down the court, and it was a legal screen, and the defender hit the legal screener, equally favorable. All right, they're both on the ground. It's incidental contact, though severe. All right, if you're a Duke fan, I think it's Butler Duke half-court play on that one. You still have to give them time and distance, but there's going to be plays where there's a collision. Equally favorable after that collision, no foul. All right. So now we are going to go to fouls. 419 involves illegal personal contact. It does not involve personal contact. Illegal personal contact with an opponent which hinders an opponent from performing normal defensive or offensive movement. Think about basketball movements. Jump, run, screen, dribble, pass, shoot. So as we go through this, from foul to foul, when coach say, why was that a foul? You have to be able to explain what basketball movement was hindered. Dribble, pass, shoot, run, jump, screen. Okay? So now we're going to look at the play first. All right? Then we'll go to Kahoot. You'll have 30 seconds to answer it. All right, so play number 2. All right, I'm going to show the play. I'll play it a couple times so you have some looks at it. I'm still connected, so that's good. No.
Come in.
All right, it's going to be in the post eventually.
Here. See if the Muskies can pull off another big win here to start things off this season.
Block, charge,
Foul is going to
I
go
think flop or
against Hill.
incidental contact are going to be the options.
Has drawn the foul.
Okay, so
off this
watch it
season.
again.
Foul
One
is
more
gonna go
time.
against things off this season.
Okay,
Foul is going to go against.
now I'm going to pause this. I'm going to go to beautiful Kahoot. Next. So this is what on that play. Is it a block? Is it a charge? Is it flopping? Or is it incidental contact? All right, so we got 14 flopping, 3 incidental contact, 5 charge, 5 block. The correct answer is block. Okay, and now the rule teaching. I got to make that default. Okay. That's right. All right. Legal guarding position. Number 1, does a player need to be set to take a charge? No. Does a player need to be facing an opponent to take a charge? No. So whoever said yes, no, you do not. Does a player need to take contact in the torso to take a charge? Not within 3 feet of the sideline. Okay, within 3 feet of a sideline. Because if the defense is out of bounds, it's a technical foul on the defender. Does a player need to be on the court to take a charge? Yes. Yes, they do. All right. So now we're going to stick with the legal guarding position. So now the truths. To obtain, the guard must have 2 feet on the playing court. They have 2 feet on the playing court. To obtain, the guard must be facing an opponent. They have to start facing the opponent. Okay, we're still good there. After obtaining, the guard can move 1 or both feet or go airborne. Guard does not have to remain facing the opponent. All right, we're going to take a look at a picture here on the next slide showing that. After obtaining, guard can raise arms up vertically. The guard can move laterally obliquely. The guard can turn to duck and absorb contact. After obtaining, cannot move forward to initiate contact. Remember that, forward to initiate contact. Okay? So this is what we're talking about laterally and obliquely. So these are all the directions this defender could go and remain legal guarding position. If they get hit in the torso, it is going to be on the offense. They just cannot move forward. No. There it is. Player with the ball. The offense now must stop or change direction to avoid contact. So remember that rule when we go back to that clip. Did they stop or change direction to avoid contact? The player with the ball must get their head and shoulders past the torso. The player with the ball may not push through the torso of the guard to gain an advantage to pass, shoot, or dribble. That's that basketball movement. Okay? So this goes over to just the rules. Illegal personal contact. We see the contact. What basketball movement does it impede? All right, if it impedes the offensive player, you're going to have blocking. If it impedes the defensive player, you're going to have charging. All right, so now this should be hopefully the very same clip. If I did the clips correctly, and if not, I still have it up here.
Against Hill in the paint, has drawn the foul, is Laughlin.
All right, so we are going to watch the defender here officiate the defense. He's got legal guarding position. All right. What direction did his feet go? Forward. Okay. The feet went forward. The really question here is what basketball movement was affected to cause this to block? Okay. All right, that's what you have to be able to explain to the coach. All right, so here's what the explanation here. He goes on a straight line and the defender throws himself into his path. The defender falls sideways. This is a blocking foul. So it's moving forward into his path. Because they're saying, had that defender not moved forward into the path, what did the post player want to do? Shoot and score. All right, but moving forward into the path now put him to the second option of passing. Yes, sir.
Sean, per Brian's comment, and per this exercise on this one here, obviously we're going to call the block there, but you'd rather have a block than a no call.
Yeah, if you have a no call here, it's going to get worse on the next side. And then when it gets worse on the next side, we're going to have to call foul. And then guess what the coach is going to say? Well, I wasn't on the other end. Just get the first one. All right. So this is a block because it went forward into the path of the opponent. In my judgment, which means very, very little, this post player wanted to score. Post players don't want to pass it out to the guard away from the basket. Okay, so that's the basketball movement I am saying as an official. And I will tell you, I'll say the stakeholders, the ones who are going to be observing us, they want physicality out of the game. They want players staying on their feet, not going to the floor. All right, so if they move forward into the path, go to the floor, block. Yes?
So, got it. Could you make the argument, so take the moving forward out of the equation? From here, two big bodies, there wasn't a lot, doesn't appear to be a lot of contact. I went with block because I didn't see the moving forward. Could you make the argument that, especially this year with the point that being flopping?
You can. When we get into the flopping rule, we're going to give a lot of philosophies. If you could avoid a flop, avoid it at all costs. Because when you put a flop in a game, you are now penalizing the whole team. If you call a block on this, who are you penalizing? One player. And we'll talk about it. When we call a flop, especially early in the game, we're putting players in a box. If we could keep them out of the box, we have contact, we have moving forward. Let's go with the block. Yes.
Don't see that coming forward from that angle. Would you be okay for when you say I got to charge you?
You can. All right. You might, going through the torso, film's going to show differently. Film will show differently. When those feet come out forward, they're moving forward. All right. Let's see if this comes up. Play number 2. All right, so now we're going to watch play number 2, and then we'll go to Kahoot and answer it. No. Play. Oh, sorry. This is play number 3.
You can see the experience showing of North Carolina down the stretch.
All right, so I'm going to replay it from this angle, which is the trails angle. We're going to call it from the center's angle. Everyone have a good idea what they're going to call? All right. Next. What is the call on that play you just saw? I'm not going to cheat. It's all about points and how quick you answer. I know the answer, so that's cheating. I don't want to cheat. Oh. Okay. We have 5 block, 17 charge, 1 flop, 0 incidental contact. All right, what was the main reason the last play was a block? Moving forward, okay? All right, block. Defender was moving forward again. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the video, all right? Because we need to really, really watch the defender. All right, so what happened first? Defender moving forward, making contact. The ball becomes dead. Any common foul after the ball becomes dead is considered what? By rule? Incidental contact.
Could you say that again?
So the block happens first. Boop, foul, dead ball. After the ball's dead, we have the push-off, which is a common foul. Any common foul, once it becomes dead, by rule, turns into incidental contact. Okay? So now, and this is where we're talking about trust. Where does this play begin? Whose play is it? Trail. Trail has this play.
You can see the experience.
All right. Who should see that defender? And this isn't the best look. I still don't think this is the best look at it.
North Carolina down the stretch.
This is going to be the best look at it. All right, so right now, number 3 can move laterally, obliquely. He cannot move forward. Would you say he is now beyond the halfway point of the middle of the basketball court? So if you're playing helpline defense, you're on the other side of the helpline defense, right? So now anytime you get past that helpline defense and to continue going to the sideline, what direction are you moving? Forward. All right. So this is a block. Yes, he does get hit in the torso, but he gets hit in the torso moving forward. Block. The center took this call. There's no way that center sees him moving forward. Absolutely no way whatsoever. All right. Centers, it's okay to take it late. He calls it right at the time of contact. Trust your trail. Your trail sees it from the beginning, middle, to the end.
The official call a block?
No, the official call the charge. Okay. Now, the best part of this rule, or this play, believe it or not, is this game situation. Anyone notice time score? 49, 65, 804.
Sorry to interrupt you, but this is so when you play,
Fade away. You can see the experience.
Maybe. But I'm going to give him the shot at it. I'm giving him the shot at it. C made the call. C made the call right there. So that's very important, by the way. In this room, we didn't even know who made the call. All right, you have to be seen when you make a call. Now, we don't have a whistle here in the gymnasium. You hear the whistle, your sight's going to go to the whistle. All right, so now, if we correctly call this block, what other rule do we have to take into consideration here? Shooting. By rule, anyone know when the act of shooting begins? Gathering the basketball. Has he gathered the basketball right now? Okay, so it's very important now. Now, we don't know he's shooting yet, but he can be considered in the act of shooting. He does shoot the ball. All right, so did this foul start on the floor? Yes. All right, so officials, if you are in the habit of saying, no shot on the floor, no kidding, every shot starts on the floor. No shot prior to the act of shooting. No shot prior to the act of terminology. Okay, and you have to be able to share that with your crew. Communication. Because now what are the other two officials doing? Now has direction. Communication. Okay? So the learning point on this, trust the trail. And Doug, you are correct. If I'm blocked out and I don't call it, everyone agree we need something on this? We need something. Center official, come in. You're probably going to come in late. And center official, you're probably going to come in charge because all you see is torso. Trail, fight to get that angle. Don't stay stationary. Don't be that ex-official. Move with the play. All right, this is a block moving forward. In the act of shooting, other officials, you got to see if this ball goes in or not. And it went in. Count the basket. Okay? Count the basket. All right, so a lot of stuff on there's a lot more behind this play. Number of fouls this player has, number of fouls this player has, all that good stuff. And it's know your personnel, but that's not the purpose of this one. It's terminology. It's the communication of what you have so your partners know what to do next. How did he not maintain it? All right, so you're saying the head and shoulders is past here? I'm good with that too. If that is the judgment, if that's what you see on your angle on the basketball court, absolutely. Boom, block, head and shoulders past. You could say that as well. Now we have another reason how they did not maintain legal guarding position. We're going to keep this video up because there is one more play. There is one more block charge play. Okay, so the official calls block. Now let's see if we have figured out this rule yet. So one more time for this angle, because this is the angle we're going to have from the baseline most likely. Then I'll open up the Kahoot. Is this a block or is this a charge? Everyone have a good idea what they're going to answer? I can play it one more time. Yes, I can. Wouldn't that be awesome? Hey guys, could you do that action one more time? Sort of a hint. Think about what we have been saying already. Block, charge, flopping, incidental contact. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, 3300. All right, and the answer is block, and it's block moving forward. Legal guarding position. See how he's leaning forward and then goes backwards. All right, so this would be a block. Once again, is this in the act of shooting? He was in the act of gathering the basketball. This is in the act of shooting. All right, so people always say, you're going to get it. This isn't the NBA. It's the same rule. Gathering the basketball, act of shooting. Okay, college is a little bit different. We won't talk about the college rule. Act of gathering the basketball is the act of shooting. So yes, it is kind of like the NBA, coach. All right. Duplicate. All right, so the last final learning points on these three plays. All of them are blocks. All of them are moving forward. One official blowing the whistle, one official's judgment, clear mechanics by one official. And I have a play here. We're not going to discuss the play, but I'm going to show the importance of what happens when you don't have clear mechanics. 1900, it is in this clip. It's going to be the lead official. Watch the lead official's mechanics. And put yourself in a position of partners of what this is going to mean to you. Is that clearly a charge signal? All right, no. I have that one left hand near the hip. All right. Now, he does come out as a charge, but you have to understand how this might confuse people. Now, when you have confusion, people are thinking, God, he's got a block right here. His two hands are right by his hip. All right. Slow down. Boop. Right here. And then point the direction. All right. Foul, head, point. All right. Clear, concise mechanics, signals to prevent frustration, confusion.
Replay that. I want to see how long it took him. Less than a second to do that.
Uh-oh.
So,
Is this it? This is possession? Oh, gosh. All right, land the play here. It goes back to be seen, not noticed. Be seen, not noticed. Blow your whistle, be seen, do the mechanic, boom. Here we go. All right. All right. Back to this. Next rule. Legal, illegal use of hands. So we're talking about this signal right here. All right. Illegal use of hands. Okay, we're going to take a look at the clip.
What is this?
Is this legal or illegal use of hands?
And able to get the foul called on Voracevich.
I think there's a better angle.
You got to admire the way that Voracevich is playing that post defense. Seemed to be pretty solid. And right there, he caught him on the left elbow.
Yeah, he lowered his arm.
All right. Now let's hopefully this is still working. Next. Yes. What is this call that we just saw up there? Is it a reach? Oh. All right, sweet. 16, illegal use of hands. Who wants to be a volunteer? Why was that illegal use of hands? All right, broke verticality, lost verticality, all right, inhibits freedom of movement, extending hands outside the vertical plane, misspell, extension of elbows outside the body, contact an opponent with his or her hands. All right, so multiple reasons why that was illegal use of hands. Came forward outside the vertical plane, his or her hands hit the forearm, okay? Because what was the offense trying to do? Shoot. Were they able to shoot?
No, he was inhibited. Freedom of movement.
Perfect. All right, and that's what you have to explain. All right. Boop. Illegal use of hands, hit on the forearm. Boop. Illegal use of hands, loss of verticality. Terminology to explain your judgment. With this, now the legal. It is legal to extend arms vertically above the shoulders. I will tell you, when you have one arm coming forward, it's typically because the defender is controlling that arm. What happens if you see the defender go like this? What usually causes both hands coming forward at the same time? Offensive player coming into them. Don't be fooled by that. All right, so if you have both hands come down, did that offensive player hit them first? And if they did, don't penalize the defender because of the offensive's action. I always love girls basketball beginning of December. You have girls go like this, boom. And I always ask them, you play volleyball? How'd you know? I don't know, because they always hit with one hand. So they tend to do that in basketball too. And then when we get into hand check, we'll pick on the football players too. It is legal to reach, to block and slap the ball, controlled by a dribbler or player, throwing for goal, or holding the ball and accidentally hitting the hand of the opponent when it is in contact with the ball. So coaches, they always say, reach, 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 reach. I finally go up to those coaches and say, please stop letting us know that we get these calls correct. You're just letting us know that these calls are correct. It is legal to reach. Now I can't reach, hit the arm. I can't reach, my shoulder hit the dribbler's hip. All right, now we have fouls. So you've seen when they reach, what do they contact? And what they contact, do they inhibit normal basketball movement? That's what you have to know for you to use the whistle. It is legal to hold hands or arms in front of the face or body for protection. All right, so typically females here, males here. Sometimes they go like this. That is legal. As long as they don't go which direction? They can't go forward, okay? That's that duck and absorb. They could duck and absorb with their hands, with their body. All right, so don't be fooled on that. when it comes to that. Those are legal. All right, automatics. We'll watch the play. We'll do the cahoots. All right, you guys see? Everyone see? Okay. This should be super easy, super simple. So is that going to be a technical foul on the offense? Is it going to be technical foul on the defense? Incidental contact because of equally favorable position? Or is it going to be hand check? Excellent. We have 19 that have hand check, and you guys are correct. So this is exactly what we're talking about. Hand check, we are not taking in consideration equally favorable position, and we are not taking in consideration what normal basketball movement is impeded. Because what do you think is going to happen if that official does not call a foul? Frustration. Frustration leads to unsporting behavior. Absolutely. Yes. So hand check is automatic. So coaches, if we call a hand check, I mean, we pregame it a lot. Let's get the first hand check. That is the one foul. Let's get the first hand check. I'm not saying let's get the first block, get the first charge. Let's get the first hand check. That's ticky-tacky. It's automatic, coach. Because guess what? Both coaches are going to now tell their players.
Quit hand check.
Get your hands off. Hands off today, guys. They're going to call it. All right, so this is where we get football players early in the season. All right. Down, set, 2 hands on the opponent. Automatic. All right, so as I do with girls basketball, you play volleyball. Boys, you must be an alignment, aren't you? How'd you know? Boom, 2 hands on the ball handler. Automatic. 1 hand continuously on the ball handler. All right, so if I put my hand on Kevin and I say hands, if they take it off right away, not a hand check. Okay, you have that ability, hands, boom, off, we're good. It's hands. Oh, wow. Oh, foul. I kept it on.
Get your hands off too much.
Yeah. Yeah, just hands.
Use the analogy of the stove.
Yeah.
Touch it once, you're not going to get burned. Touch it twice, ouch.
Yeah, I like it. Arm bar, extension of the arm bar. This, again, I can use this to absorb contact. I cannot extend this arm bar.
But the defender should be vertical, though, right?
Yeah.
He can't.
No, he can't. No, he can't go forward. I'm right here. I'm vertical. All right. Extension is the key one. Automatic, by the way. This happens in post play. They start here and they want to go here. Boop. Hand check. Continuing to contact the ball handle. That's what you just saw. If you don't call it, eventually somebody's going to swing an elbow. Got to keep your hands off. That last one, you don't see that too often. All right, but the learning point here, hand check, automatic. It is not what offensive, defensive movement did it affect. Automatic. Okay?
So Sean, can you go back? How many times he did not get hit the first time he hand checked?
So I think Kevin said the great thing. You put your hand on the stove the first time. Whew, oh, that was close. You put it on the second time, now you're going to get burned.
Well, it got to the point where
He did it 5 or 6 times.
Well,
That's what Doug's asking. At what point?
The offensive slap of
he did it enough. Okay, so he's the C. The C follows the play over.
what makes a great crew?
Friendship.
Friendship, right? Yeah. Trust, communication, consistency. Finally, the center official said, this is enough. Like, this is not happening in my
You
game.
know what, Sean?
I'm getting this.
Credit to the officials. Maybe they had a bet on this game that said, hey, whoever has the first foul's got to buy the round. Neither one of them called.
Well, we're 17.2 in the first half.
Oh, I didn't even see the comment.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I think one official was coming over to say hands. Both are watching.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's an automatic. I try to really hit that.
I don't think we see that.
For me, though, it's
We
like
don't.
You warn them with the verbiage of hand, and then they take it off, and then they go right back. That's when you get it.
Correct. Yep. All right. Play number 7. We'll watch it, and we'll watch this 2 times. Yeah.
And we've got a lot of contact inside.
Nope,
This
I
will be a
didn't
hold.
want to
on
start.
Cohill.
Boom.
Starling
Rebounding
off the
play.
dribble. And
Oh, you guys saw that one. Good. All right. We'll only watch it one more time then.
Starling off the dribble. And we've got a lot of contact inside.
All right. We'll go to the Kahoot. Sounds like we're unanimous here, which is good. So what is the call on this one? You don't think online will? Okay. All right, so Sweet 19 have a push, all right, which is the correct call. We'll go back to the video here.
This will be a hold.
All right. So we miss these at times, and when we miss these, we have too many officials watching the shooter and not enough officials watching the players crash the board. But watch number 23.
Starling off the dribble.
See how 23 gets shoved to the ground? Okay. So 23 has a clear path to the basket, gets his head and shoulder past the opponent, past another player, and then that other player moves forward and displaces that player. This is how many times have you heard the verbiage of, well, he wasn't going to get the rebound anyway, so I passed on that foul. It's okay to have that verbiage. Not here. Because now what is this white player not able to do? Get back on defense. He wasn't going to get the rebound anyways. But the normal basketball movement that is now affected is getting back and playing defense.
And we've got a lot of contact inside.
So to avoid I'm glad you said that, to avoid a triple whistle. Is there any primary coverage areas when it comes to rebounding? No. So any official could get any rebounding foul. So if we have a triple whistle on this, probably the center official should have the shooter. The center official should have the shooter. So if anything, it is okay to have 2 whistles on this. The trail and the lead. Trail and the lead. All right, center will have the shooter. Trail and the lead. But that's what the big thing I want to talk here is, yes, he was not going to get the rebound anyways. That's not the basketball movement that was affected. It was getting back to play defense. When you put somebody on the floor, they can't go and do the next move. Okay? And I know it's a small thing for us as officials. I will tell you, do you think coaches see all what happens? Okay? Don't call this illegal use of hands. Don't call this block. Call this a push, displace. So now the coach can now tell the player what they did wrong. Pushed, displaced the opponent onto the floor. Okay? Yep.
What would have happened had the basket been made?
Same exact thing, because the defender cannot play defense. Whenever somebody gets pushed to the ground, you have to have a push.
So if basket's good,
Yep. Correct. Oh, I know what you're saying. Okay, the resumption of play. So the shooting team, what was the offensive team? All right, so White got fouled. It was during the shot. Ball remains live. If it goes in, count the shot. White ball at the near spot of the foul unless we're in bonus. Now we'll go bonus because it's not a shooting foul because it's not on the shooter. All right, so pushing, illegal personal contact, which displaces an opponent on the playing court. All right, displaces is the key word there. All right, hold or no hold? No. Okay.
70,
Same game.
Good one. Elbow jumper. That's no good. And a foul on Youngstown.
All right, so now we're going to see the whole.
Elbow jumper.
Everyone see the player involved or players involved?
Good one. Elbow jumper.
Cool.
That's no good. And a
Okay.
foul on Youngstown.
And Wachowski makes that happen because he.
Oh, cool. Next. Now you guys make the call. Is it a hold? Is it a push? Intentional foul? Incidental contact? This class is awesome. All 19 are hold. Now the higher level question, when does this
67.
become a foul, aka impedes a basketball movement? Is it a hold yet? Not a hold yet. Because if this ball goes in, did it prevent anybody from doing anything? No.
Elbow jumper.
Right there. Missed shot. Both players had the opportunity to jump for that. It prevented the normal basketball movement of jumping and rebounding. That's when it became a foul. All right, so, yep. Now, as an official, I'm literally trying to, please go in, please go in. Because if this action happens, don't ignore it. As you're running up the basketball court, let them know that you saw the hook and hold. Hey, whatever number it was, had that not gone in, you would have had a foul. Please stop doing that hooking.
A foul is a foul, but one of these exercises, terminology is correct, obviously. That's what we're doing here. But if his body is, if his butt is kind of pushing that, is a push hands on?
No.
So, can a push be body?
Yes, displace.
If he's not hooking it, it could be a push.
Yes, displace. So you said a foul is a foul is a foul, right? Remember, the contact of holding is not the foul.
The displacement.
The hindering normal movement. The normal movement is jump. I hindered them from jumping to get the rebound. That's the foul, the foul, the foul.
But I think that also these exercises to be pretty much on point on what that preliminary is going to be.
Oh, yes. So you're saying this is definite hold over a push.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I guess what the question was, a push is not just hands.
Correct. A push could be body.
But his butt basically pushes him out of the way. It's called a push.
Yep. And there's sometimes you use your butt to block. Now you could have blocking. But yes, you definitely want to use the terminology. You want to use the signal that matches what they actually did. Absolutely. All right, elbow. This is a fun one.
Introducing the all-new
Oh, that's the
Buick
first one,
Enclave.
good.
Experience effortless driving that invites you to
All right, so one more time, and then I'll pull up the question. This one might not be as easy, but hopefully it is. All right, what is it called? Elbow foul, elbow violation, flagrant foul, incidental contact. Elbow foul, elbow violation, flagrant foul, incidental contact. All right, and those of you who answered violation, you are correct. And the reason why it is not a foul, what do you need to have a foul? Contact. Okay? I want to go back to the video. How do I... Nope. You do need hindrance as well. All right, so as this play goes, he swings and misses. How do we know he misses? Yeah, have that kid go down like a sack of potatoes, you'd probably have flagrant. All right? Have that kid get hit in the chest, you're probably going to have that kid react and go back. All right, so elbow to the chest and below is an elbow foul. Head, swing like that is a flagrant ejection. Swing and a miss. We do not call enough violation elbow violations.
I think 2 times, yes. What about that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because that's a perfect transition to this slide. All right, so now what's the rule? It is not legal to swing arms and elbows excessively. What's excessively? While pivoting, the elbows swing in excess of the hips and the body. So if they lead with the elbow before the hips are able to turn, so it's elbow then body, that's excessive. All right. So you could pivot with your elbows at the same rate as your body. You could rip, you could pivot, you could get your elbows down. But when you have those elbows lead the way, now you have foul or violation. Or violation. Correct.
Yeah, I think you're right. I've seen some aggressive elbowing in the tall air.
Yep.
And I've met, been frozen and stuff. It's a violation.
Violation. Remember, the best way to avoid unsporting behavior, prevent frustration. Players start swinging the elbows because they're frustrated. That's not the way to show frustration. Let's just end it right there. All right, violation, swinging of the elbows. It's not a foul, and if you have time to explain to the coach, in my judgment, the elbows swung faster than the body. It's legal to pivot. You cannot lead with the elbows. Yeah, that.
If it does hit somebody, then you can.
Like I said, if that contacted, that's a flagrant. The only difference between flagrant and violation there was maybe 1 inch. Maybe 1 inch. Okay. But the learning point there, TA brought up the great point. What is excessively? Leading with the elbow. And violations, we have to get the violations. It will prevent the escalation of it all. Oh, ours did? Oh, the question online was, is a violation just a warning? A violation is just like a travel, just like an illegal dribble, just like a held ball out of bounds. It's loss of possession of the ball.
I think it'd be great if that became a point of emphasis. Yeah. Because to your point, it doesn't get called enough.
Yep.
I'm guilty of, I'll pull the player aside and say, it's a violation, I'll get the foul if you get going. Because most of the time the player's doing it kind of to get the player off them.
Mm-hmm.
The onus is on the official to call, to make the foul, to make the call. The player doesn't know it's a violation. But I think to your point, we do a better job of calling.
I agree. Get the violation so the elbow fouls don't happen. All right, we're going to switch into technical foul. It's just the way my brain organizes is charts. So I categorized the types of technical fouls. Administrative. This is before the game. Okay. So we have now slam dunking before the game. It's an administrative foul. Okay. Illegal numbers, administrative foul. Not all players in the book, administrative foul. Illegal uniforms, administrative foul. So we take care of all this administrative stuff if it happens underneath 10 minutes of checking the book. Who is it charged to? It's charged to the team. And what does that mean? Team fouls. That's it. All right, so the game's going to start with one team having a team foul. All right, we will have free throws. All right, you're still going to have the 2 free throws in ball, unless they're even. All right, but we won't get into the woods there. But it's what does it go towards? Administrative team fouls. One team will have one team foul.
Toss?
Go ahead. No, it goes to the team. Yep, not to the person. Nope, just a team foul. Question.
So just a point of clarification, you said that administrative, typically we catch these before the game starts, but like an illegal number, let's say that a player comes to sub in halfway through the second quarter and their name is in the book, but they have their jersey number is not matching the number that's in the book. That's still an administrative.
Still administrative.
They catch them later, but
Yes. Yep. Yeah, it's not always pregame, but the coaches did not confirm the book correctly in pregame. So if we have one team that has an administrative foul, 2 free throws in ball is the penalty. All right, so now the next one, substitute. All right, so this is a sub coming onto the court before they're allowed to come onto the court. This is a player coming onto the court during live ball. You can't just run onto the court. Okay, so those are the two situations. It counts towards disqualification, 2 technical fouls, that player is disqualified. So that's the tech DQ, 2 technical fouls to that player. Player DQ, all right, goes towards their 5 personal fouls. So there are 2 technical fouls and their 5 personal fouls. And then it goes towards team fouls. So it's all 3. Goes towards bonus, technical DQ, personal foul DQ. Okay, so subs, we control subs. All right, if we do our job as officials, should we ever start the game with one team having 4 players on the court? No, so somebody's not going to run on the court there. All right, if we have 6 players on the court, yes, it is the head coach's responsibility. But should we ever start a game with one team having 6 players on the court? No. And the first player that just runs onto the court when they hear that horn, instead of us beckoning them on, make a show out of it. Boop, 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 boop. Please go back to the table. Thank you. White 23, block, 2 shots. Stay right there. Second shot, you can come in. All right. That solves everything for the rest of the game.
On every crew that I work with, I encourage my partners. I'm not putting the ball in. If you come in, we look at each other. We are not having 6 on the court ever during our game.
Communication. Great crew. Communication. So if it's before the game, I am getting the 5 players who are marked in the book onto the basketball court, and there's no technical foul. I will not, but a coach can leave their bench area. Hey, according to my 5 starters, this is what I got from the book. They got an illegal player out there. All right. So even once the game gets started now, when does a substitute become a player? And so now we won't have a technical foul. So once we toss that up, it will not be a technical foul if the wrong people start. We could just bring it to the attention, get the right people out there. But if that game starts, that ball becomes live, now that sub becomes a legal player. And hopefully they're in the book. So if they're not in the book, it'd be administrative. If they're not in the book. Just like if they don't have the starters marked in the book at the 10-minute mark, administrative.
Just to keep playing that along, I love these types of things because you think about all kinds of, so in your scenario, you don't catch it. The opposing coach catches it. Hey, the book says 33, but actually 35 in the game. He or she allows the game to start, calls a timeout, addresses you. It's not going to do that in a live ball. Now how do you do it?
33 became a legal player once the ball became live. He was a sub, according to the book, he was a sub. But he's on the court, and the ball became live. Now he's a player. No technical foul. Yeah. That's a substitute one. Now player. So player technical foul. So this could be unsporting towards an opponent, unsporting towards an official. You could have dead ball contact. So it's not a common foul once the ball's dead. It's beyond a common foul, dead ball contact. Player technical foul goes to all three. 2 technical fouls in a game, players disqualified. 5 common fouls in a game, players disqualified. Team foul, bonus. All right, so it goes towards all 3 when you have a player technical foul. Officials, when you get together on a player technical foul, slow down. What did the player do? What are we going to tell our coaches? Look at the scoreboard, because how many times has the book put in the team foul, but the scoreboard has not put on the team foul? Make sure we have our ducks in a row when it comes to that.
Are you okay if in pregame we tell the table, I like to tell them, please don't put the team foul on the table. I mean, they're going to be quick, and I know that's kind of ticky-tack.
I have a lot of other things to worry about. I don't even look at the team fouls after I report until after the whole, like, I'm not looking, is the next one the bonus, until now we're in the free throws or now we're after the throw-in. So that could be a preference to you, absolutely. I don't think it's pertinent. Bench. So this is like player, not players. Bench personnel, assistant coaches, players who are not in a game. You know, you can only have one coach up. You can't have assistant coaches come onto the floor. You can't have bench players come onto the floor. You can't have bench players throw stuff on the floor. Okay, it's a lot of different stuff. Now there's 4 categories. Tech towards DQ towards that person. Player DQ if it's a player DQ. Team foul, indirect to a head coach. All right, because head coaches now have 2 categories. They have 2 technical fouls or 2 indirect and 1 direct. So now we have to keep track of the 4th category there, indirect to the head coach. When we have an indirect to the head coach, what else does the head coach lose? Coaching box. Rule change this year, does not lose the coaching box for administrative. She loses the coaching box by bench personnel unsporting behavior and their unsporting behavior. So that's a new rule this year. And then we have the head coach. Head coach, technical foul goes towards that person's DQ count. 2 technicals or 1 technical, 2 indirects, and then a team foul count. Again, technical foul on the head coach. Make sure they put up that team foul towards bonus in that half. So if some people like to put this, keep it in there. I don't see basketball officials pull it out a lot, but maybe you print out a bunch of them, just put them at the scores table. That way, if you ever have to double check it, it's right there at the scores table for you. All right, so I am not very good in the moment with all of this. Again, that's why I love slowing down when you have a technical foul and then talking. All right, it's not only talking what happened, it's talking what's going to happen next. All right, talk before reporting. Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a look at 6 plays here. And the question is going to be, of these 6 plays, according to NFHS, how many are flops or faking being fouled? Okay, so I hope I get to the spot in this video quickly.
The occurrence of faking being...
So there's going to be 6 continuous plays, and the question is, in the Kahoot,
being fouled,
how many
or flopping has been on the rise
are going
in
to be
recent
flops?
seasons. It has crept into just about every aspect of the game. It is occurring by offensive and defensive players in both boys' games as well as girls' games.
And some of these are repeats. I think this is a repeat as well. Okay. All right. That kid gets 2. All right. Keep in mind, it was the NFHS who made that video. Out of the 6 plays, how many are flops? 3, 4, 5, or 6? 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Oh, you tried twice. Love it. All right. If I press skip, it won't like do anything really bad, will it, Kevin? Okay, I'm just gonna let it play out. All right, so 10 of us said 6, 2 of us said 3, 5 of us said 4. I will tell you, every single one on there, NFHS wants flop. Okay, fake being fouled. We're going to talk about the rule first, and then we'll start talking about philosophy. Okay, so faking being fouled is not a new rule, but the penalty. Warning issued. Alternating possession arrow used when an offensive player fakes being fouled after a try has been released and it's unsuccessful. We'll talk about timing of this fun stuff. And then team technical is 2 free throws and opponent's ball at the division line. All right, so going back to this chart. All right, so team technical is charged team fouls. All right, team technical is going to be charged to team fouls. Does anyone 100% know, is it a direct player technical foul as well? If it's just team.
So it's kind of like
Okay. Yes. So I just want to confirm that. It is. Yeah.
Warning team. And then, I think you covered that in the first meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Team technical foul. So now, again, charts. Offensive player, active shooting, blow the whistle immediately. If it goes in, thank goodness. All right. You are going to count the basket. You are going to administer the flop, whether it's a warning or team technical. You're going to give the other team the ball on the end line. They get to run.
You got an automatic flop, but it gets the basket.
Yes, because the ball remains live. Ball will remain live. Now, NFHS. I think this is different than what we see on TV. When they are in the act of shooting, you are blowing the whistle immediately still. If it's missed, we go to alternating possession arrow. So there is a chance the offensive team can flop and get a warning and get the ball back. Okay? So I will tell you what I am prepared mentally for is a 1-point ball game. I call a flop for some reason, all right? And it's a missed shot, and the defense gets the ball as clear as day, but now I have to give it back to the offense, okay? And when we get into the philosophies, make sure it's huge. And we'll go back to these plays, and we'll talk about more philosophies. But understand, when you make that decision of calling a flop, all right, if you have the ability to pass on a flop on a missed basket, good for you. I would rather miss a flop on a missed basket than giving that offense a reward because they have the alternating possession arrow. So another reason to always know that alternating possession arrow. Now, with that being said, if that team's already been given a warning, who cares? Because now if it's a missed shot, it's not a warning anymore. Now it's a what? Technical foul. The other team gets 2 free throws and the ball. So it's only on the warning. All right, so like high level of officiating, you really have to be aware of time and score on this offensive flop on the active shooting with a missed shot. All right, it's really high level, know the situation, but that's the rule. Now, non-shooting, blow the whistle immediately. That's the head bob. Okay, head bob, boom, automatic, flop. All right, offense retains possession of the ball in the warning. They're just giving the ball spot nearest the flopping. All right, now if it's a second team one, head bob, team technical foul. 2 free throws, loss of ball, the other team's ball at the division line. Now flip it, defensive. Active shooting, hold your whistle now and let the shooter action complete. And by the way, when I say shooter action complete, they also say it may be multiple offensive rebounds, putback. Offensive rebound, putback. When the defense commits the flopping violation, we are holding our whistle, we're just doing this. We are indicating this. Yeah. I mean, all right. Yeah, until you blow your whistle, okay? No, I won't do it 14 times. Yeah, depends on how long they're rebounding. Now, it's when they complete the act of shooting. So if the offense gets a rebound and passes it out, boop, boop, you kill it. It's the act of shooting. All right, so you don't want to take away a scoring opportunity from the offense. Okay, so that's the purpose of that. Hold your whistle when the defense flops on the act of shooting. Let all shooting action be completed, but yes, still signal this that it's coming. All right, defense, not act of shooting, blow it immediately. All right, so if a defense flops, like, oh, that screen killed me. Flop, boop, right away. All right, first one is a warning, team warning. Understand those officials that have been working this flop. This is how the progression happened, okay? We called it a ton. And we got it wrong a lot of times. We put players in a box. We got it wrong again. Technical foul. Eventually, the coaches and players got sick and tired of us missing flops so much. Guess what they stopped doing? Flopping. Okay, so don't be scared to call it, but be aware once you do call it, it puts the crew in a box. It puts that crew in a box. So make sure it's a clear faking to be fouled. And what we mean by faking to be fouled? Think about the definition of foul. What's needed? Contact. So if somebody falls to the ground with no contact, guess what they just did? They flopped. Those are the easy ones. No contact, fall to the ground, flop, because you need contact for a foul. The other thing, what else needs to be for a foul? Impede what? Movement. All right, so if you have that true judgment of, did that defender going to the ground impede the offensive player or not, go block. Just call it a block. Because who are you penalizing if you call it a block? That player. That single player. Who are you penalizing if you call it a flop? The whole team. So if there's a true judgment, do I penalize the whole team? Or do I want to change this one player's behavior and there's contact? Just go with the foul. It impeded such movement. You get to pick. Yep. And that's that. I think as a coach, that's worse for the team. A flop is worse for the team. All right, but the days of passing on it because you don't want to go directly to a technical foul is over. All right, is over. Jerry?
All right, so you get the elbow violation.
Yep.
If the guy doesn't touch it, you get a flop out of that.
Yep.
That's probably going to happen.
Correct.
How do we handle that?
All right, easy. We have a violation, elbow. It's going to be Kevin's ball. All right. Kevin's the one who actually flopped. All right. We are now going to go warning on Kevin's team. Point of interruption. So where was the point of interruption? The violation. So it's going to be his ball, even though they were given the warning. All right. Now it's a second one, technical foul. Now it will be my ball, 2 free throws, and ball at the division line. Yep. Yeah, so swinging of the elbow flop. Yeah, that'd be a fun one. All right. But that's what the ruling would be. We have a violation for the elbow. The penalty is ball here to this team. We have a flop warning. And all it is a warning is not loss of ball. That's what you.
Warning a team foul, even though it's just a warning, we're not going to yet.
Nope.
It's not a team foul, it's strictly a warning.
Warning. It's not a loss of ball. It's not a foul. It's not nothing. It's just a warning. Just think about it as a delay of game warning. All right. When the team delays, they do not lose the ball. When a team delays, the other team doesn't get free throws. All right. A warning is not a violation. It's not a foul. It's just a warning.
The key thing is there, on the takeaway there, to remember, if the offense has that ball and they're the one warned with the flop, point interruption, stay with the ball, and then obviously the second one, we all know, screw it. Now it's not the point interruption, it's a T. That's just the easy one. Just put it in the bank or in your card.
Is this a double-sided one? Nope, it is, but the other side's used. All right, so our final thoughts and challenges when it comes to rules. We as officials need to know when to put ear in the whistle. All right, and we put ear in the whistle when there is illegal personal contact that impedes movement. If you cannot explain where, who, and how that contact was made and what movement that it affected, do not blow your whistle. Okay, do not blow it. Incidental contact if you can't explain it. Third grade basketball. You have the ball loose, and you have 4 players all run together while running towards the basketball. Coach, I have absolutely no idea what I could call here. I can't explain it, so I'm going to incidental contact, and I hope this ball goes out of bounds fast. I mean, really, that's the best explanation I could give. All right. Now, if 2 players go to the ground, we hear this all the time. We have to have a foul. If 2 players go, we need a foul. All right. And when I mean 2 players go, it's like a collision. It's not that very, very first out of control dribbler and feet tangle, untangle. But we call it the crash in the lane. We got to have a foul. Number 3, it's got to be our team effort to limit confusion, frustration, and unsporting behavior through consistent terminology. New officials, it is okay for you to start, push, hold, illegal use of hands, block, charge. It's okay. But then as you get reps, all right, you can't now say push displacing opponent, illegal use of hand affecting the shot, block head and shoulders past, charge going through the torso. Challenge yourself to use now more terminology. Veteran officials, you should be getting to the point of you're telling a story. All right, boop, white, 32, block, moving forward, affecting the shot, 2 shots. All right, now we're telling a story, veteran officials. So challenge yourself throughout the season to build up. All right, 1 word, 2 words, sentence. We do that in school, right? Start with 1 word.
Last year when you did that, you stood there and reported foul for 45 seconds.
All right. So English teachers do not use run-on sentences. All right. Take pride in the craft of clear, concise signals as a basketball official. They mean something. They mean something to your partners. They mean something to coaches. They mean something to fans, whether we agree with that or not. It does mean something. So again, I'm going to go back to be seen, not noticed. So my favorite example, I'm at Bellevue East many, many moons ago. I call a charge on the baseline, and I finally punch, and I'm at the 3-point arc. Don't be that guy, okay? I was trying to be noticed. Be seen. Foul, charge, this way. Be seen, not noticed, okay? Take pride in that. And then practice more than coaches and players. Basketball is going to get started on TV. I know this sounds really weird. Stand in front of the television. If you really want to be weird, get on full uniform, okay? As that play is going, blow your whistle when there's a violation. Blow your whistle when you think there's a foul. Give the mechanic See if you match up with the best on TV. I know it's silly, but it's great practice. And then you could put a mirror right next to that TV. Boop! Now look in the mirror when you're signaling. All right? So that is what the best do. Truly, that is what the best do. And if you know one of the best, ask them, do you really practice in the mirror? Like, yeah, we have. All right? Practice more than coaches and players. Yes?
I want to get back to something you said. Maybe I'm just taking this too literally. You made a comment about we got two people going, and we got two people going to the floor. We've got to have something.
A crash. Like,
Okay, so I want to take that to the loose ball. Big boys.
Yep.
Dive to the floor.
But why did they go to the floor?
So you can think it's one of them could be a little bigger than the other. It's just physics that it's a loose ball. They're both have equal right to the ball.
Correct. But they both have two different paths to the ball. They're not going to have the same path. So I can't go into, because what usually happens is once the bigger player realizes they're bigger, they go into the path of the opponent to get to the ball. They take the opponent out first. All right, so yes.
So is that a push?
Yeah, so that would be a push. I displace my opponent from the position they wanted to be on the court.
Yeah, I think if you and your crew pass on that, you're going to get yourself into a whole lot of trouble.
Absolutely. Literally the only play is that I call it blindside screen, that legal blindside screen, but typically the screener does not go down to the ground. The screener sees it coming. They're like, this is going to not be fun. And then you call the foul, or you don't call a foul on anybody. And the coach, how is that not a foul? I can't penalize your teammates for not letting them know that there was a screen coming. Okay, that's like but because if both go down, somebody did something wrong. Somebody did. They usually see it coming, or you want to. All right, there's been questions about our structure, how to get games, because this season's going to be come up fast, really quick. So our first level is teams and coaches. So Gwen Porter, Matt Krause, and myself, we are signers, and each of us are asking for availability. All right, so I just sent out an email 2 days ago to my team. Welcome to the team. Please update Arbiter Sports. I'm going to do mostly all varsity assigning based on availability in Arbiter Sports. All right, so that's what I'm asking my team. Coach Porter has a team, officials looking to move up levels. So you have stated, even though you're year zero, I want to work varsity basketball. You're probably not going to work varsity basketball year zero, but that's cool. I put you with Gwen because she's going to try to coach you to get there throughout the season. Gwen, what are you asking your teammates to do when it comes to availability?
There will be times when I ask you directly for your availability as well. But if you've got your blocks and Arbiter updated, then that works for me. If you show open in Arbiter, you are at risk of being assigned a game.
Not at risk. You're at the opportunity to be given a game. All right.
Interpret that how you want to do.
Coach Krause, if guys and gals have said, I'm looking mostly middle school, youth, we put you with Coach Krause. Coach Krause, what are you looking for your team?
The same. The big thing is availability in Arbiter. Communication is another one. If you stay in constant contact with myself, any of the assigners, using the PSOA email, text I have sent out to my team. I have notified everybody on my team, welcome to the team. And eventually, I know the big thing is self-assigned, but that's coming.
Yep. Self-assigned, yep. Next slide, actually.
Right.
All right, so now we have the second level. All right, so last week we had our first captain's training certification course. So if you are working with Arthur Daniels, Jason Hellman, Marcus Mrinkovich, Eric O'Malley, Logan O'Malley, Jared Swan, Bryce Kirkman, Robert Brown, Hell Oberlender, Brian Wilson. Brian, you're going to have a couple words here in a second, and Jeff Doms. I will tell you, these individuals are not the best officials you're going to work with all year long. Okay, they're not. But they have information that would help you get better. And I've asked them, every single game they work with somebody that's new to them, give them 2 or 3 things. So I'm going to give you a little activity we do in the certification course. We watch a game for 5 game minutes. 5 game minutes. And I asked them, who's the better official? They're like, that one. How long did it take you? 10 seconds. Guess who else does that? You go out on the basketball court, you're with a crew, it takes 10 seconds to figure out which official we're going to pick on. Think about that. Coaches, fans, players. All right, so these captains are instructed, all right, how do we make that harder on players, coaches, players? Because when we did the last activity, we put 3 Division I college basketball officials on a game. They couldn't tell. They couldn't tell who was the worst official out there because they have the information. So, Brian, any...
If I work with someone new that is looking to move up and they want, feedback, I'll give them feedback. Like Sean says, I'm not the best official, but I also learn from watching, newer officials that possibly, I might add to that. If there are in that realm to move up, I'll let Sean know, or Glenn know that, hey, these officials are learning. They're wanting to grow, and put them with a different official so they get different feedback.
So that's our captain's level. We're looking for 40 more captains. So you do not have to be, hey, I haven't worked a state championship. I haven't even worked a varsity game. There's 4 people on that list that have not worked a varsity game. We are just looking for individuals willing to learn, to help others. And I promise you, when you start helping others, teaching others, you yourself are going to get better. You're going to get better. Then there's varsity team members, all right? NSA veterans. Anybody have varsity games not registered with NSA right now? Cool. All right. NSA registered, not only you paid NSAA, you took the test, and when the video opens, you got to watch the video. Because I literally won't go through that list till probably a week before. And if somebody is on games for our group that I do not see on NSA registered, I'm probably going to call John Dolliver and say, please, 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 can you open it up so they can watch the video? Please, 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 can you open it up so they can take the test? All right, so make sure varsity team members, if you are looking to join that part of the team, next Sunday, 3:30 to 8 o'clock, Montclair Community Center, that's posted in Arbiter Sports. Anybody could sign up for that. All right, so if anybody who wants to be part of the varsity team, all right, that is open in Arbiter. And then November 15th and 16th, Parkview Christian. It's a homeschool tournament, all varsity games. And we're going to have 3 officials there. We're going to have 1 observer, and one of our captains is going to be on the court as well. Okay, one of our captains and observer will be at all games. All right, so self-assign. Everybody here, there is my handy-dandy notebook. All right, please, before you leave, write your name down on this notebook so you get credit for attendance. Everybody who is on YouTube, you could put your name in the chat box right now. Could you just put that up there with Brian so when people walk out, they could sign, print your name so I could read it. Don't sign it. Sometimes I can't read it. People who are on YouTube right now, if you type your name in the chat box, we obviously will get the attendance that you were online on the chat box. All right. This will be open tomorrow to everybody that was in attendance today, and then everybody who is part of PSO8 and have the dues paid. We have Bellevue November 1st through 3rd loaded. There's 647 games.
Not for Bellevue.
Bellevue, how many games is it? 350? Okay, thank you. That's what it's, okay. 350 games, 700 slots. Officials, if you live in Bennington, all right, and you don't want to drive all the way to Bellevue, give us about 3 or 4 more days. We're getting another tournament at Millard North. We do not have the Millard North tournament scheduled yet, November 1st through 3rd. All right, but I did want a little, hey, thank you for attending the meeting today. You guys are going to get self-assigned open tomorrow. No, the Millard games are not in there yet. Once we get that schedule, we will, but the Bellevue games are in there and will be available for self-assigned tomorrow. Yes. I wish. Between myself, Matt, and Gwen, we as soon as we get the schedule, I send it out to these two. Whichever one of us 3 get in there to add the games, and once we add it, they're available. Some tournaments get us to it 10 days before, some 7 days before, some 14 days before. Just like the Bellevue one, they gave it to us yesterday, so it's in there. And once Millard North gives their schedule, it's going to be in there.
Hey, what are, for some people that are new, working the youth games, what is your pay so that everyone is on board?
Perfect. Our pay for youth games is $30 per game. All right, $30 per game. When it comes to youth, it will literally say youth. You can wear black shorts. All right. You might be working with people like me, wear black pants anyways, but bring both if you have both. When we get to December, CYO and Pell is black pants. All right, CYO and Pell are black pants. Youth, you can wear black shorts, but it's $30 per game. All of our youth contracts are pay at site. I can't promise cash, but it's mostly cash. Okay? Yeah, but mostly it is cash. $30 per game, cash at site. Yes? So we're going to recommend it as we get the new ones in the system. So like right now, new ones, they have, like if you never officiated before, you have a rank of 400, you will see self-assign, but you're not going to be able to see games because we want them to do on-court training. Let's say we have so many openings. All right, we're going to put the new one with Bryce Kirkman, our coach. So that is going to be on-court training. But we do know it is best to do the 2 hours before actually on your own. But yes. Next on-court training just for the 2-person, it'll be November 1st through 3rd. Once we start getting our captains signed up on games, we're going to use those games to get new officials on those courts. Yep, great question. I got to put that in tomorrow's email because both of you guys had the same question. All right, on-court training in the email tomorrow.
And those youth games, they're working through the
2-person. Yeah, 2-person. All right, 7:44. Thank you for coming out tonight. October 30th, we're going to go violations. Was this Kahoot? Good idea, bad idea? Did you guys enjoy it here in person? Okay, Kevin will train me up on the continued education, how to teach. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night, guys. Yeah. So you cannot get it on the app. You got